Hi, welcome today to our webinar. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We're doing a live webinar today with Ian Knable, and I'll tell you a bit about Ian. So Ian's been living the laptop lifestyle since February this year when he quit his job as the state manager for a construction company. Ian's first experience making money online was a little over 5 years ago when he was one of the first people to join my list marketing system program. He followed the instructions and built a list of over 5,000 people in less than 6 months before going on to sell that business for $8,000. Since then, he has built several blogs, a successful YouTube channel, and an Amazon business. It was his Amazon business that really took off and provided the reliable monthly income that enabled him to quit his full-time job. Ian achieved all this while working 70 plus hours a week, at the same time spending 3 weeks a month traveling and working out of motel rooms. Ian now lives a very different lifestyle, which we're going to talk about with him. He spends his mornings getting his daughter off to school before having breakfast with his wife, either at home or at one of their favorite nearby cafes. He then puts in a few solid hours of work before relaxing when his daughter comes home from school, helping her with her homework. He now enjoys cooking dinner and spending time as a family around the dinner table before another couple of hours work, often with his team of virtual assistants checking work and assigning new tasks. So he's put a lot of hard work to get the lifestyle he now enjoys, but he says it's been all worthwhile. Ian, thanks for joining us today.
John, thanks for having me.
So Ian, I'm going to turn the time over to you to talk a bit about what you're doing today to make money online and why you've chosen this strategy.
Okay, fantastic, John. That'll be great. Before I get into it, guys, I just want to go, fill in a little bit more of what John was saying about. I got started online about 5 years ago, and I was trying to figure out, saw these things come up on the internet and on Facebook about making money online and people living these amazing lifestyles, and I was trying to find something that sort of resonated with me, and I bumped into John's system, the list marketing system, like I said, just over 5 years ago. And I signed up for it, and then realised John was a local boy here in Brisbane, so we went and we met up and had lunch, and one thing led to another, and it was just by the great work that John had put in, and that list marketing course, and I know he's continued it on with his subsequent products. It really is a step-by-step process, and if someone like me who had absolutely no idea how to do anything online except send an email and get on Facebook could follow it and build a pretty good business in 6 months, I highly recommend it to everyone to pay attention to what John does. He's a very good teacher. So with having said that, I started with the list marketing system, and I'm one of these guys, I have trouble focusing. I shift and I change all the time. So I built that business up. Why I sold it, I still don't know to this day. I got an offer, I took it, and then I thought, okay, I've done that, made some money there, I'll try something else. And for a couple of years, bounced around without a lot of success after that. And then, as a result of this bouncing around and always looking for the next bright, shiny object or the new opportunity, got started on Amazon. And it was not easy, but it did get some traction, and it got enough traction that it got me interested, and I persevered with it as well as these other things I was doing. About May last year, I decided to get serious about it, and I'll come to why shortly, but I decided to get serious, and I made the choice to invest in myself and get a coach. That was in May last year, and as John mentioned, in February this year, I was able to quit the soul-sucking day job that was driving me slowly insane. So now I work from home. I'm in the inner suburbs of Brisbane, and I must admit, life is pretty damn good, and I would highly recommend this style of working and living to anyone. So with that little bit of intro, we'll get onto it. What I'm going to talk about today is how you can start an Amazon business, pick a winning product, which is vital, and start making a healthy profit in 3 months. It is definitely achievable, and I'm going to cover off on a lot of areas and talk about a lot of things to help you achieve that today. So what we're going to cover today is why Amazon. It's one of the first questions that always pops up from people is why Amazon? Amazon.com's American. Why do I want to go and buy things from there or have a business on there? And I'll cover that off. 3 absolute key criteria for success. I learned through trial and error and then with some coaching that there's a few really basic things, the same as it is with most businesses. You get those right, you've got a really good foundation to build off. Get them wrong, and you're in a bit of trouble. Next, we'll go on to a 5-step process to identify hot niches with ravenous buyers. There are certain niches of products and categories that have people that will literally spend anything, and price isn't an issue for them. It's more about getting what they want, and we'll talk about some of the reasons why. A couple of absolute mission critical steps. Get these wrong and your product is absolutely dead to Amazon. And then the group that I'm with, Aussie Online Entrepreneurs, AOE. Why and how is Aussie Online Entrepreneurs different? How does that sound? You people just let me know if that sounds interesting in the comments. Great. Yes. Okay, excellent. We'll get moving and we'll get into it. So at the end of this webinar, you are going to know how to choose your market, pick a winning product. If you get this wrong, you're flushing dollars down the toilet, and that's no good for anyone. We all work too bloody hard for our money to make a simple mistake that costs us money. We want to be smart, invest our money wisely, and get a return on it. Secondly, how to find world-class suppliers and negotiate like a pro. The profit is made when you buy. I didn't necessarily believe that a couple of years ago. The more I do this, the more I'm involved in it, the more I believe it. It's that negotiation and sourcing a quality product at the right price that's important. And how you can get started with as little as a couple $100 in stock. Okay. Now, everyone that stays to the end, I've got a super special gift for everyone that hangs around to the end. It'll make it worth your time. I've got an Amazon cheat sheet. John's seen this. We've looked at it and spoken about it before. And in this cheat sheet, I've got the 3 super secret ninja hacks that will have your product rocketing to the top of the Amazon search results. And that info on its own can make the difference to the success or otherwise of your Amazon business. I could sell this, and I've had people tell me many times that I'm crazy that we should be selling this cheat sheet. But tonight it's free for you if you hang around to the very end. Okay. Now, before I get into the training, and believe me, I'm bringing it tonight. I've got some really good stuff for you. Who am I, and why should you pay attention to what I'm saying? And the reason is that I'm nothing special. I'm no different to anyone else out there. I left school at 15. I'm 50 now. I left school at 15 back in the early 80s when you could leave school early, get a job, work your way up and achieve something. It's getting harder and harder, and I really do feel sorry for our kids today with some of the things that are in front of them. But through trial and error and just stumbling my way around and chasing a dollar, I ended up in the construction industry. At the age of 38, I ended up being a state manager of a construction company. When I actually quit my job in February this year, we were doing 100 million a year per annum turnover. It was a big business, and I built the Queensland operation in 2000 when I moved up here from Melbourne. They were doing $250,000 a year. When I left, we were doing 100 million. So, been pretty successful, but it didn't come without a price. Working 70, 80, even more hours a week, on call 24/7, 52 weeks of the year. I was spending a massive amount of time away. Anyone who's in the construction game or knows much about it realizes that you've got to chase the work, you've got to go where it is. I was spending huge amounts of time away from home, and I really just got sick of it. And I realized I just could not keep going for another 15 to 20 years. You know, I was 45, you know, going through my late 40s, doing the midlife crisis, and I'm thinking, do I really want to be doing this for another 15 to 20 years? And the answer was simply no. I just didn't. I'd had it, I was burnt out, and it was time to find a different option. So I said 6 years there, it was typo. 5 years ago, I started trying to figure out how to make some money online. I had no formal qualifications to fall back on. My value was in my industry. I was in a niche market in the construction game, and I had a huge amount of value in that niche, but I didn't have a piece of paper to hang behind me on the wall behind the desk. So my value was very reduced as soon as I went outside of the niche I was operating in. So I had to find something else. A couple of pictures there. You can see one of the things we love doing is going on cruises. I'm not sure who else is a cruise fan, but there's one of the wife and I. That was a cruise we did in March this year to celebrate leaving the job. The bottom picture, we renewed our vows on a cruise 18 months ago. We did a cruise around New Zealand for a couple of weeks, renewed our wedding vows. That was really magical. And this lifestyle I'm living now makes it even easier to do these sorts of things, because we're not tied to only having certain amounts of annual leave and having to work around busy times and everything else. We can literally jump on a ship whenever we want to. So it's pretty special. So now, as John mentioned, I make my living with multiple different online businesses, including Amazon, which is by far the biggest. I've actually got 2 separate Amazon businesses, and I'm just about to launch a third. I did sort of do that wrong in the early stages, but it's too late and too advanced to change it now. So it means a little bit more work for me, but it is what it is, and I have to manage it. I'll try to help you not make those same mistakes going forward to make it much easier for you. I've got a handful of different blogs online, some YouTube channels that generate a few $100s each a month in revenue of some description. I'm the head e-commerce coach with a company called Raw Local. I do e-commerce coaching to individuals and businesses now. I'm getting more and more requests to speak at events and conferences, both for online and offline businesses. I've got 5 children, some grandchildren. Grandchildren are great because you can give them back when you get tired or you've had enough. Unlike children, you just have to deal with that, the sleepless nights and everything else. And in the not too distant future, we've only got 1 child left at home now, a 14-year-old daughter. By the time she's 18, 19, 20, we plan on vanishing overseas and living our life in tropical paradise, as we like to call it, through Thailand and the Philippines and Vanuatu and Bali and even some of the Central American countries. The only prerequisite we're going to have is obviously there's got to be great internet, and most of those countries, even though they're third world, make our internet look pretty ordinary, which is it's ironic, but that's the way it is. So that's where we plan to be in a few years' time. So the big question, why Amazon? Why Amazon? And it comes up all the time. And I'll tell you, give you a few good reasons. Amazon.com, American Amazon, has 86 million visitors a month. Now that's a fair bit of traffic generation, if you ask me. That's a lot of, that's just a lot of people coming through that platform a month. It's crazy numbers. In last calendar year, 2015, they had a revenue of over 100 billion. Now that's Amazon's revenue, not the value of what was sold on the platform, but Amazon.com's revenue was over 100 billion, which probably explains why their shares are about $700 each. Prime Day this year, July 16th, They had sales over $500 million in 24 hours. That was their biggest day ever. 500 million in 24 hours. Next point is most of the sellers on Amazon.com won't ship to Australia. I'll just repeat that and have a think about that for a sec. Most of the sellers won't ship to Australia, and I'll go into why in a minute. But the single biggest reason Amazon.com is hot now, and it's something that everyone needs to be looking at, is the fact they are coming to Australia. It's not a matter of if, maybe, possibly. Amazon is coming to Australia. They have leased a 10-story block in a building in Melbourne as their Australian head office. They've had people here in Brisbane and Sydney multiple times in the last few months trying to source a warehouse. And when you understand the size of Amazon, you understand the challenge that presents. The warehouse, the size of the thing they need, it's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So they are coming, and that presents people like you and I an amazing opportunity to get ourselves positioned to take advantage of that. I hope that people are starting to see the pieces coming together, seeing the jigsaw puzzle, and why now is the time to be looking at this. Now we'll have a look at a bit more on the why Amazon. Here's a product, a set of steak knives, half a dozen steak knives, or is it eight steak knives for $30 American. And you can see there, I just did this a week or so ago. This item does not ship to Clontarf, Australia. Why it's picked up Clontarf is where I am, I don't know, but it has. So the item does not ship to Australia. Now this product, these steak knives, let's have a look at some of the figures around this, and it's going to blow your mind. According to Amazon and lots of different forums and things you see, only about 2% of people leave reviews for products. No matter how hard you try and chase them up to get reviews, only about 2% of people leave reviews. So based on their 623 customer reviews, that equates to about 31,000 units of sales, or 960,000 US, or over 1.2 million Aussie dollars. At 30% profit, which is about normal, some stuff's more, some stuff's less, that leaves $374,000 profit, give or take. Now, I don't know about you, but that's pretty exciting. If that looks exciting to you, you want to let me know in the comments section. Be interested to see who gets excited about $370,000 profit. Yes, yes, it is, John. It is amazing. That is some serious money off one product. Excellent, excellent. Now we'll move on. Another product here. These are nothing. These aren't fancy special products. They're obviously selling very well and they're good products, but they're not something that you or I can't source and do ourselves. The next one is a barbecue meat thermometer. All right. Again, simple product selling at 18 bucks, will not ship to Clontarf or to Australia. Why? You look at it, it's small, it fits in the palm of your hand, so postage isn't going to be a big deal. It's not going to be hard, expensive, but they don't ship to Australia, and we'll get to that why in a moment. Work the numbers through on this one at 2% of people. Again, 48,000 sales, over 1.1 million Aussie dollars, and $300,000 in profit, $336,762 profit based on 30%. And those numbers are very achievable, 30%. And I'll get to that in a moment and show you a bit more about why. I'm hoping that people are seeing the opportunity presenting itself here. It's very, very cool. Okay, so the strategy that I use, that I've been taught, and the strategy that the Aussie online entrepreneurs follow, the first thing is encourage you to do your own research. See for yourself that everything I'm telling you is absolutely true. There's plenty of commentary out there about Amazon. There's lots of different blogs and forums and news articles and things like that. But do your own research. Make sure that you're comfortable and confident that what I'm saying today is true. And I am absolutely positive that you'll come back and find out that it is. Some of the reasons that they don't ship to Australia, these big sellers or any sellers, there's a few things. The first is that we all know that stuff does get lost in the post. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Things get lost in the post. Things get broken, things get damaged. Secondly, you've got customs issues, you've got GST issues they've got to deal with, breakages, and even though a damaged item in shipping is often not the merchant's problem, it's more times than not, it is the problem of the freight company or US Post or Aussie Post or DHL or whoever they use. At the end of the day, the customer isn't happy and they leave a negative review saying, the postage, the item was damaged on arrival. And unfortunately, with Amazon, negative reviews are death to your product, absolute death. If you start getting a lot of negative reviews and your star rating drops below 3.5 to 4, depending on who you talk to and what you believe, once your star rating drops below that sort of level, your product will just plummet down in the search results for Amazon. So people don't ship to Australia because they don't want to risk their reputation and their reviews. Hope that makes sense. So, next question people ask me, are Aussies actually shopping on Amazon? And I'm afraid the answer is yes, in a big way. And that's not just my wife who seems to love it. Australians are very comfortable shopping on Amazon, and I'll show you some figures in a moment. So the idea is we're going to sell on Amazon.com targeting Australians. Of course, we'll pick up American buyers as well. But what I suggest to people is you look at having some product in the States at Amazon's warehouses and you do Amazon FBA or fulfilled by Amazon, so that people in America that do buy get it delivered cost effectively from Amazon and nice and quick. Their service over there is only a couple of days, literally anywhere in the States. So you've got product over there to service that market, but then we're going to put a lot of effort in our marketing and our sales copy and our product descriptions around targeting Australians. And the idea is there, you can take on the fulfillment yourself, or you can use a company like Shipwire or DL Logistics, etc., and then service the Australian market directly. So the idea is we make money right from the very start. The best way to think of Amazon is it's like a giant Westfields. I'm not sure where everyone's calling in from, but Westfields is this massive company that owns all these huge shopping centres around Australia. And Amazon is just like a giant global Westfields shopping mall where you walk in one door, you've got stores as far as you can see in all directions, and you can buy anything you want. And because there's lots of stores all selling very similar items, your pricing is competitive. There's an assumed level of confidence that the businesses there are reputable because they're paying to be in a Westfields, so they're not some fly-by-night that are going to be gone tomorrow. Let me ask you a question. If you had a chance to own a prime piece of retail in Westfields, you'd grab it, wouldn't you? I know I would, and that's what we're talking about today. Okay, so are Aussies checking on Amazon.com or buying on Amazon.com? Let's have a look here at some search results. Now you can see over on the left-hand side, I'm in Google AdWords, and I'm just looking at traffic numbers and monthly searches. I'm only targeting Australia, and I'm only targeting Google searches for the words Amazon, Amazon Australia, and Amazon.com. And look at those numbers, 750,000 searches a month on Google for Amazon. and that's people who are actually searching for it. I believe that a lot of people know it's Amazon.com once they've been there once or twice and type it straight into their browser, or they've got it bookmarked. So I think that $750,000 a month is very, very light on. I know I don't search for it, and a lot of people I talk to don't either. Oh, just having a quick stretch and a mouthful of water quickly. Oh, that's better. Okay. So the strategy is, once Amazon launches properly in Australia, which they're due to do very soon, either late 16 or into the first half of 2017, they'll do what they've done in every other country. They will do a massive, massive advertising campaign to raise even more awareness. And the traffic, the number of people going to amazon.com.au when it launches will just explode overnight. It will go nuts, because Amazon has just this massive reputation as a trusted company and a trusted website. So once they start advertising on TV, on radio, in magazines, billboards, buses, you name it, things will go absolutely ballistic. And because we're already there, we've already positioned ourselves, we have our stores on Amazon, we have our products selling, we're doing everything right. The traffic that will then come from this advertising blitz they'll do is just going to be absolutely nuts. Sales will triple, quadruple overnight based on what's happened in other countries. Does that sound exciting to people? Excellent. Definitely, yes. I thought it might. It's when you start to really dive into this, it's big, 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 big opportunity for everyone. So at that point, we'll still leave our product in the States servicing America if you choose to. In Australia, we'll bring all our product into the Amazon FBA system, fulfilled by Amazon's ship system instead of Shipwire or DL Logistics or doing it ourselves. That will save us even more money. In the States, the cheapest postage you can get anywhere for anything is via Amazon, because of the volumes they do and the infrastructure they've put in, the deals they've negotiated. They're super, super cheap when it comes to freighting and posting things around, which will make us even more money and increase our profits even higher. It's a very, very simple strategy that takes advantage of a unique time-sensitive opportunity. This is one of those literally once-in-a-lifetime opportunities to be in the front of the queue, be on the crest of the wave as it hits. It's very, very exciting times. So, as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm going to teach you how to get to a $10,000 a month Amazon business. So as we said, we're going to be targeting Aussies, which means we'll be selling to a smaller audience than targeting the US, but the amount of money each product makes will be lower. But, and now we'll go through some numbers, and this is where it starts to really all come together. So we start off, and our aim is initially to have one product. I don't recommend people go and buy a whole shop full of products. Start with, do your research, find your niche, get one product that you can sell, you can source at the right price, sell at the right price, and it's a quality item, so you're going to get good reviews. And we're going to start with one. Okay, so we're going to start off, and our aim is to get to 5 units a day. The sweet spot we pick is that we advise and train and teach people is the $30 a day. $30 per unit cost. Anything less, there's a lot of stuff on Amazon selling for like $8, $10, $12. Even with a big margin, and you make $3 profit, you've got to sell a squillion of them to make a decent deposit each month into your bank account. So we aim for a sweet spot of around the $30, up to $40 as a maximum. Over $40, it starts to become less of a spur of the moment decision for people. People will start to think a bit more and a bit harder about spending 60 or 70 or $100. 20, 30, $40, people go, oh yeah, that looks good. Click, bang, I've bought it. So that's the sweet spot we work on. So 5 units a day at $30, $150 revenue, 30% profit. It's 45 bucks a day. It's not, that doesn't sound great, but over a year, that's $16,000. So we set up one item, we get it working, and then we move to the next one. Our aim is then to bring on more products. Each month, 6 weeks, bring in another product, getting it up there and ticking over, and then build up to getting something like 8 sales a day times 5 products. So we're turning over $1,200 a day, 200 bucks profit, $225 profit a day, or 131 grand a year profit. So that's how it works. It really is that simple. So getting to 10K a month revenue is easy. 10K a month profit is easy. It takes a bit of time, and it is as simple as wash, rinse, and repeat. Hope that's making sense to everyone. It really is pretty good opportunity. Okay, now we'll get into some teaching and some tips here of how you can do this yourself. So how do you find a profitable product? That's the question. It's got to be profitable. Now, profitable does not mean it has to be the most searched for, the most purchased item on Amazon, and that's a mistake a lot of people fall into. I have been taught, and I now teach other people, that it is much, much easier, it is much more profitable to be a big fish in a small pond rather than a little fish in a big pond. And I hope that makes sense. Some of the products that are out there, there is massive markets for them. Massive, massive markets. They're turning over tens or hundreds of millions of dollars a year in sales. But there's players in those markets who are multi-million-dollar or even billion-dollar companies who are going to fight tooth and nail to hang on to their market share and their product. They can afford to drop their price for a month below cost to drive out a new player, where we can't afford to have that happen. If I can't afford to drop my price to even, I could do it at cost because as long as I'm not losing money, but I don't want to because it's what feeds me. It feeds my family. It pays my bills. These big companies can do it, and they can dominate. They can dictate what happens, and they can destroy you overnight. Now, it's much better to be smart and look at the market, look at the products and the niches and the categories, and find something where we can be profitable. Does that make sense? Excellent, great. All right, just need to make sure I get some of these key points, I explain them properly. So what we're looking for when we talk about manageable competition. So we want to have competition. We want competition because competition proves it to us that there is a market. So we need the competition, but we want it to be manageable. So we're looking for the BSR or bestseller rank. We're looking at reviews, the number of reviews, and the quality of the listing. That's vital, and we'll go through some examples of good and bad shortly. And acceptable profit margins. This is where some people come undone. I work on a buy price, and I'm the same as a lot of other people. A lot of my stuff I get comes from Alibaba.com, and through negotiating with these guys, learning the tips and the tricks of how to do it, I work on, if something's selling at $30 US, I'm not going to pay any more than $7.50, 25%. And I'll explain where the rest of it goes shortly. But if you're paying $15 for that $30 item, you're going backwards in a hurry. And none of us want that to happen. So what defines high demand? So the criteria I work on, Amazon searches are greater than 10,000 per month for the main buying keyword, and we'll show how to find those keywords shortly. Google Australia searches are higher than 1,000 a month. Google Trends, which is another tool we use to check on demand, is either up or at the absolute worst, flat. Definitely not down. So the next question then from people is, how do we check this? And that is very simple. One of the tools we use, or I use and teach everyone to use, is Merchant Words, and you can see the URL there. It's basically Google search for Amazon. It's that simple to describe it. They have a free version where you see the top 5 results, or you can get a paid version, which I highly recommend people do. It's normally $30 US a month, but if you search for Merchant Words discount coupon, you'll find one that comes up saying January 2015, I think it is, but that still works. I mean, I know it was working on Friday last week. I gave it to someone and they used it. So, and then you can get it for $9 US a month, which is a very small investment. So here's a thing where I just typed in, and I did this deliberately to get some big numbers, but use Merchant Words. I put in meal replacement shakes. We all know that's a big market. Losing weight is one of those massive markets that is driving a lot of money into a lot of people's pockets, but it's also hyper competitive. But we type in meal replacement shakes there. You can see Merchant Words has come back with 262 related search terms on Amazon, and there's the search volume. So meal replacement shakes, 122,000 a month. Meal replacement shakes for women, 29,000. Meal replacement protein shakes, 28,500. Meal replacement shake powder, 21,500. And this is what I was talking about in the previous slide, about if you went in to try and sell meal replacement shakes, you're going to get massacred. It's just that simple. Massive volume of searches, massive volume of buyers, and at that high level, you're going to get smashed, absolutely smashed. I've been working with a lady recently who's gone into this market, but she's done it for a sub niche of this. And one of those searches there will give you, it's one of those there that was in the 20,000 searches a month. She got online with her private label product 3 months ago and is getting a steady stream of buyers and sales, and she's up at the 3-4 products every day now for one product. Just about to launch a second one, which we expect to have a exponential increase in the first one. But so the meal replacement shakes, great market, but niche it down a little bit. Bring it down to, I don't know, protein shakes or meal replacement shakes for triathletes, or meal replacement shakes for, I don't know, middle-aged businessmen, things like that. Look at niching it down and getting out of that high level, top level, super hyper competitive environment. So there we go. There's our first tool, merchantwords.com. Very cool tool. So next up, Google Keyword Tool. It's simple. It's there. The only thing, you need to have a free Google AdWords account set up, which is a bit of a pain that they make you do it, but they do. So we just have to work with it. And you can see there, meal replacement shake in Australia on Google, 2,400 searches a month. High competition, and a suggested AdWords bid of $1.88, which is a bit high for me. I would not be paying $1.88 or $1.90 to get a click through from that keyword. Again, I would look at niching it down and finding something a bit cheaper. It'd be very hard to get a return on investment at $1.88 as a side note. Okay, next up, Google Trends. Another Google product. This one is free. You don't need an account or anything else. It's really simple. And what we're looking to see is nice big uptrends where possible, or flat at the absolute worst. And again, meal replacement shakes trending up. What's interesting, I can't do it here because that's obviously a screenshot, but if you look at each of those peaks over the last 3 years, it's probably no surprise to anyone that those massive peaks always coincide with January every year. So people going on their New Year's resolution, I'm going to go on a diet, I'm going to do meal replacement shakes, massive spike in January, following a slump in November and December when everyone goes and puts on all the weight, which is probably no surprise to everyone. Okay, next up, excuse me. Now, we want to understand how strong the competition is on Amazon. So to do that, we type our keyword into Amazon.com and check out the first page listings in all categories. So we don't want to niche it down at all, put it into the main search bar, all categories. And we'll look and you'll see something like this will pop up. This was a week or so ago. The top ones are sponsored, so they're people paying to be there, as is the first one in the list, and on the right hand side as well. So they're all people paying to get that spot there in the search results. But if we have a look, you'll see why I'm saying that these are not something I'd be going after at this level. 500 reviews, 4,400 reviews. The number of reviews, the quality of reviews, and the quality of your star rating are big issues in the Amazon algorithms of where you rank. So when you're up against competition like this, it's going to be extremely difficult to rank well. Is that making sense so far? Excellent, great. Okay, so to finish off on that, I would not be looking to go into the meal replacement shake market at that level. It's just too competitive. And these bigger players will destroy me overnight with their marketing budgets and marketing clout. So what we're looking for on Amazon is less than 200 reviews, a BSR or bestseller ranking of higher than 10,000. We're looking for poor product listings and poor product photos. And then another big important one is not dominated by only 1 to 3 players. There's certain things you'll go into. It happens in some of the beauty niches where you've got a couple of the big players dominate the front page of the search results. Again, in that scenario, it's almost impossible to crack, and you really want to be aiming to be on the first page of the search results. So we need to be careful of that. So they're the 4 big things we're looking at on these Amazon listings. Less than 200 reviews, a BSR higher than 10,000, poor product listings and photos, and not dominated by 1 to 3 players. So what is a good and what is a bad listing? That, I'm sorry, whoever is selling the Premier Dead Sea Professional Peeling Mask is a crap product listing. It's that simple. Unedited, a single image. Amazon gives you the ability to have 9 photos on each of your product listings. They've gone with 1. Looks like it's shot with an iPhone or some sort of phone on a table or something. There's flash glare, there's shadow, it's just a horrible image. And what you got to think of on here, when you go shopping in a normal brick and mortar business, you can pick something up, you can feel it, you can touch it, you can smell it, you can feel the weight of it in your hands. On Amazon, you can't, or any online thing, you can't do that. You have to paint the picture for the customer. You've got to use your description and your photographs to paint the picture for them. And I'm not in the market for a face mask anyway, but that does not appeal to me in any shape or form. It's a very ugly picture. There's no keyword optimized in the title. Dead Sea Professional Peeling Mask. If you try and pull that apart in any way and go and look on Merchant Words or in Google, you're not going to find much listing for that at all. If it maybe said Dead Sea Professional Face Mask or wrinkle removal mask or something like that, it may work, but that on its own is not going to. Bullet points, which are below the picture there where it says about the product. You can put 5 bullet points on every item, and I always tell people to make sure you use benefit driven bullet points, and I'll explain the difference. You'll see this one says Premier Dead Sea Professional Peeling Mask. Does that bring in any sort of emotion with anyone? No, it doesn't. But if that said Dead Sea Professional Face Mask that leaves your skin feeling smoother and youthful, then it starts to bring in some emotion. Dead Sea Mask, to clean the pores and reduce the risk of acne, things like that. Then it starts to bring in some emotion and gets people involved. So your listing must tell a story and compel the shoppers to act. I hope that's making sense. Everyone's getting that? On to the next one in our meal replacement shake type product that we were talking about earlier. This is a good, still not brilliant, but it's a better product listing. There's half a dozen photos. And they're good quality. You can see they've been edited. They're on a, they've had the background removed, so they're a PNG file. They've had the background removed. You've got the front of the pack, the back of the pack, the nutritional info, etc., etc. What would make that even better still was a couple of action shots. If you had, and I'm going to put it out there, at the end of the day, it still works. You know, a nice young girl drinking her meal replacement shake in her gym gear or something, and a guy doing the same thing, and a couple of action shots. A/B split testing tells us they work. Okay, so keep that in mind. Have some action shots in there, not just static displays. It's a keyword optimized title. So you've got, so Slim Fast is a known brand, so they're obviously working off that. You've got meal replacement shake, you've got chocolate. So they've done some work on the keyword listing, keywords in the title. The bullet points at the bottom, still not the best, but they're not bad. You know, up to 4 hours of hunger control with 10 grams of protein and 4 grams of fiber per serving. Could be worded better to get a better result, but it's, you can see they've put some effort into it. They've used some basic HTML, which Amazon will allow you to do, to actually put the bullet points at the beginning. You can do even more. You can make, you know, things bold. You can use some bold. You can use some basic underlining. You can use basic HTML in your Amazon listings. So I always recommend people do that. You need to do something to catch the eye and stand out. Okay, I just realized I've got to keep moving. So can we buy at the right price and make $1? And the answer is yes. Again, first part is your product research, your market research, your competition analysis, and then you go to Alibaba.com. It's that simple. There's no secrets to it. It's in the negotiation process of getting the price down and the minimum order quantity down to make it viable. And that can be done, and we talk about it a lot in the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs, how to do that. So your product cost is 25%. Your delivery, customs and duties, etc., 25. Amazon costs 25, leaving you 25. And they're just rounded off numbers. As you get bigger and better at negotiating and things, your product cost can creep down a little bit. Your delivery and customs will definitely creep down. Amazon, you can't do much with it. It is what it is. And that's where you round up to your 30% profit starts to fall out, or higher, depending on the product. I've got someone I'm working with at the moment who's buying something for $1 and selling it at $6.95, and they're doing it in bulk. So they're buying $1 each, and they're doing 5 of them for $30, 10 for 45 or something like that. Selling very, very well, and they're averaging about 45% profit. So it is possible. You do that during the negotiation. Okay. So how do you build your business to 10K a month? You can take some of what I've shown you today, some of what I've gone through quickly here today, and try and figure it out for yourself the way I did, using trial and error. It's slow and it's painful and it's expensive, but you can do it, no doubt about that. Or you can learn from someone who has done the trial and error and created a simple step-by-step process that virtually guarantees massive success, and learn from others. My good friend Neil, who I work with very, very closely, is extremely successful on Amazon. I'm following in his footsteps and hoping to emulate this. But this is his stats from last month. $39,500. Month before, he had stock issues, so his sales were down a bit, but that's straight off the mobile phone app that you can get as an Amazon seller. You can download that and install it. Neil knows what he's doing. I know what I'm doing, and a few other people in the group do as well. We've got a lady who's had massive success on eBay and is now bringing that across and helping people duplicate some of what she's done onto Amazon and vice versa. We've got this program called the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. Who'd like to hear and find out a bit more about that? Excellent, excellent. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Now, obviously, there's a ton of Amazon training inside it. Once you join the group, you get instant access to the tools and strategies that you need to get started. I'm going to give you absolute step-by-step plans that I've used to make a full-time living online. Neil's used it and lots of other people are doing it as well. It's step-by-step video training with checklists and everything you need. There's nothing missing. It's everything you need. You're going to learn how to choose your market and pick a winning product. I've touched on some of the points in here. There's a couple more things, and there's a little bit more detail we can go into that I just obviously in a short webinar can't quite get into the full, all drill right down into the detail of it, but you've got a good idea of it. How to find, there's a lot of work goes into the sourcing and supplying and negotiating. How to get your graphics done at reasonable prices, how to start with as little as $200 worth of stock. The fastest way to get your product live and selling on Amazon, time-tested ways to create a high-converting listing and getting reviews. And people here, the marketing around your product, the best product in the world, not marketed well, is not going to make money. We all know plenty of products out there that maybe aren't the best, but with really good marketing and sales and some money spent on advertising have turned into massive money spinners. And that's what we're going to work through in how to convert, how to make these high converting listings and how to get the reviews, which is critical. And a simple step-by-step plan to picking winning products, virtually guaranteed to work. And that all comes down to the analysis. You've got to be ruthless, you've got to be brutal. Take the heart out of the decision-making process, let the numbers speak and go from what they tell you. You can also discover what I've learned about getting unlimited traffic to your product listing, paid and free. Both work, both are effective, but there's plenty of different ways you can do it, and some are good and some are not very good. And then importantly, how to systematize and outsource your online business so you can make money from anywhere in the world. That was one of the biggest things I had to do a few months ago, probably closer to a year ago now, was start to let go and outsource some of the day-to-day stuff. When all of a sudden you're not dealing with customer responses and customer complaints or customer inquiries, things like that, it makes life so much more fun. And we're going to teach you how to do that. Clever way to get Facebook users to buy your Amazon products. Very clever, works really well. And believe it or not, Amazon will pay for advertising to send people to your Amazon products. It costs you nothing. All you need to do is demonstrate one thing to Amazon and the algorithm will pick it up and start to send you traffic and skyrocket you up in the listings. It's very cool and very powerful. Telltale signs to look for which reveal you have little or no competition in a niche. Just look for this on the product page. Very cool, super effective, and works really well. Doesn't mean there's no market there. It means that your competition's crap. And as soon as you can find a niche like that where you've still got demand but you've got crap competition, the things that we teach you, it's very quick to get on top, quick and easy to get on top of them. The Nike secret, it reveals you're in a profitable niche, allows you to dominate a niche and no need for a big budget. Very cool, super powerful, the old Nike secret. That's very good. And then how to work just an hour a week and make up to $1,500 a month with no outsourcing and no staff. Very simple, takes a little bit of work to get it set up, but once you do, very simple. And the absolute worst way to sell products on Amazon and how to avoid it. As you saw in that previous example, there's some rubbish out there. There really is. Okay, so this is what you're going to discover. You're going to get secrets to getting your Amazon business generating sales within 4 weeks. Not 4 months, 4 weeks, just by following these simple steps. How you can multiply your sales 10 times. Just do this when you list your product, and it's got nothing to do with the actual product page. Very, very simple little trick that makes a massive difference. How to optimize your product pages to appear on the first page of an Amazon search. You don't need tech skills, you don't need experience, you just need someone to explain and show you how to do it. It's the old story. You can do trial and error, slow and expensive and painful, or go with someone who's already been there, done that, and doing it on a daily basis and follow what they do. How to remove the guesswork when you choose your product niche. And hint, I've actually already given you this one earlier, a free Amazon tool, Think Merchant Words, and what you can find out from that, along with what we touched on briefly about looking at the amount of searches and what's good and what's bad and where we're trying to fit. How to get your own private label design made for under $5. Yes, people don't believe it, but you can get labels for less than the price of a beer. Your own private label designs for under the price of a beer. And that works for me because I prefer to spend it on a beer than giving it to someone else. And an ingenious trick that gives you a first page ranking on an Amazon search. It's perfectly legal, and it allows you to leapfrog any of your competitors. Now, I think you'll agree we're going above and beyond to give you the most cutting edge money-making strategies with Amazon that you've seen. So, what are you getting? You get full access to the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs Training. There's 8 modules that show and teach everything you need to build a $10,000 per month Amazon business. Now, that's normally valued at $97 a month. Now, who thinks at $97 a month that's good value? Excellent. We've got some people in the Facebook group that I'll tell you about in a moment, and who are involved, that have spent thousands of dollars, and I mean thousands, $5,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 on courses for eBay and Amazon with people, and they say quite openly that they got nowhere near the value they get here. So you get the 8 modules. I'm sure you'll agree that that's an absolute no-brainer, but I'm going to make it even better. I'm going to show you even more. First bonus. Every Monday night, Neil, myself, and all the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs jump online for a live interactive webinar where Neil and I and Sam, another one of the coaches, provide answers to any of your burning questions. We also have some live guests. We share amazing case studies and money-saving tips. Each week's webinar is recorded and placed in the members vault inside Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. When you join, you will have instant access to the entire back catalogue. There are dozens of recordings saved in here. This alone is worth thousands of dollars. It really is. It's amazing support. And so people get on every week and ask questions, and we go through and demonstrate and show exactly what's good, what's bad, and how to go forward. So you get the online access to the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs, valued at $97 a month. The weekly Q&As every Monday night, including the recordings of the full back catalogue, valued at $297 a month. Bonus 2, this is brilliant. This is what I think is some of the most powerful stuff there is. We have a members only private Facebook page that has over 200 supportive and open members, and that is an amazing environment. It really is. Super successful people, Neil, myself, Sam, Sue, Karen, some people that are doing this full time and have been for a while, through to those that literally joined yesterday and know very, very little. Everyone's very open, very supportive, and any question, no questions off limit. Every question will get answered. Here's a screenshot. Tim Ryan joined a little while ago, and you can see there he's made $5,000 in 7 weeks. You ask questions, you get the help and support you need. This is actually a few weeks ago now. I just realized we're up to about 230 members now. So it's not huge, but it's sizable and it's great value. So you get the full access to the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs training valued at $97 a month. The bonus one, the weekly live Q&As at $297 a month, and access to the members only Facebook group valued at $197. So it's a total value of $591 a month, but we're not looking or talking about anything near that today. I'm going to ask you a question before I reveal our super secret price. If all this did was finally give you some sort of success online, would it be worth it? If all this did was give you the kick in the butt you finally need to get moving and to do something, would it be worth it? And if all this did was make you $2,000 a month, would it be worth it? And I'm pretty sure the answer is yes, because it is for me, and it certainly was. So it's not $591 a month. It'd be amazing value at $297. It'd be incredible value at $167. But for a very limited time, you can get everything for just a $1 test drive for the first month, and then $47 a month after that. Super cheap, tremendous value. So a $1 test drive and then $47 a month after that. Naturally, you can cancel it at your membership at any time with a simple email. And if you really get in there and you really hate it, we'll even give you back the $1. So it's a total no-brainer to get started tonight. You're not risking anything at all. Get a 30-day test drive of Aussie Online Entrepreneurs for just $1. You can just head over to www.ianknabel, that's IANKNABEL.com/$ and the 1. So $1. We're right across Australia. Again, when you join, you'll get access in here where we have a lot of our members have pinned where their locations are. We all have organised monthly meetups with people. We've had one here on Bribey Island. We had another one on the Goldie a month or so ago. These are private things where people just in the Facebook group organise with half a dozen, people in the area to catch up. And some of them are just very social. Some of them are all business. It's up to you to get involved and do what you want. So it's an amazing environment of friends and people all working towards the same outcome. Fantastic, you'll love it. As you can see, we're a great bunch of folks, and just like that, we want to set ourselves free by becoming Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. This is for people who are ready to make money online only. It really is. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not one of these click 3 mouse buttons and make $1 million tomorrow. It's a serious business, and you need to be ready to make money online. There is a lot of money to be made on Amazon, and people who know how to build an Amazon business are scooping it up fast. There is an opportunity to make a tremendous short-term profit while also building a solid long-term business. So now it's time to choose if you want to be in or not. If you want to get in, go to ianknabel.com/$1. Get started today for just $1 at that. ianknabel.com, $1. Now, this is really cool. Becoming an Aussie Online Entrepreneur will start immediately. The second you go through the checkout process, you get sent your email link, an email with all the links to get in there, and you get access to it straight away. The modules are drip-fed one a week. The idea behind that is you watch the module, you take the action before you move on. We don't want people getting in there seeing 8 modules, 55 videos or something, and just binge watching the whole lot like you would a series of Game of Thrones and then going back to sitting on the couch. Watch the video, take the action. Watch the video, take the action. And you get an instant access as soon as you go through the checkout process. I really do look forward to helping each and every one of you. I get an amazing sense of joy out of helping people do this. It's just an incredible feeling, and I really hope to see guys in there in the Facebook group shortly. Please tag me, Ian Knable. Just tag me, and love to say hello and see if we can help you out. So just a quick recap to finish off. We get full access to the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs Training, valued $97 a month. The weekly Q&A webinars, $297 a month. Bonus 2, the members-only Facebook group, $197 a month. Total value $591, but not $591 today. Today, $1 for the first month, and then $47 a month after that. That sounds great. Head over to ianknable.com/$1. And here's some proof. And I'm talking proof that people just like you and me are making money online. Here's Andy, member of the group, talking about Neil is quite simply brilliant and is assessing exactly what you need to get you to the next level in your business. 1 year ago, I was working in a job, and I love this. Job is just over broke, earning $1,000 a month doing something I hated. This year, I'm running a company that helps people change their lives. I'm earning $15,000 a month. That's 15 times more money. Neil is always there for me and helps me and supports me to grow and develop. He is a master at making businesses work, and I believe I'm learning from the best. Andy Eves, top bloke, know him quite well, and he's spot on the money. Another lady, Sharon Kell's been nominated for the Grazia Entrepreneur of the Year. Neil's commitment to me has been extraordinary. He's always been there for me. If I have a question, I just ask. If I'm unsure of something, Neil helps. It's priceless. I've been nominated for the O2 Grazia Entrepreneur of the Year. This would never have happened without Neil and what he teaches. It is truly the best way to get started making big money fast. Sharon. This is cool. Wayne Dan, CEO of Results for Life. Over $100,000 in pure profit in the first 12 months. Neil's advice and information have directly affected my bottom line. How much? Over $100,000 in pure profit in the first 12 months of implementing just a few of the techniques and ideas. I can only imagine if I implemented more. You would be crazy not to listen to what he has to say. He shows you how simple it is to make more money online. It is that simple. Wayne Dan, CEO, Results for Life Limited. This is my mate Sam. Sam lives the internet laptop lifestyle in Vietnam. Lucky bugger. Sam Fawal, his Amazon business is now making $15K a month. He works in Vietnam, sells in America and Australia, and is just loving life. Hoping to catch up with Sam in a couple of months, just before Christmas. We're hoping to get over there and catch up with him face to face. So again, if you'd like to be like Sam and a few of these other people, you can just head over to ianknable.com/$1. Here's Michael Wood. Forgot about this one. Michael Wood, been in the group 4 weeks, and that was his second load of products. He'd already sold out of the first 4. Mike is going absolute great guns. So you can see there, first of my larger samples just arrived, all intake, and I must say Stockwell's shipping have been very helpful for anyone thinking about needing an agent to send from China. I recommend them. So Mike is a very active member in the Facebook group and is kicking serious butt, doing very, very well. Samantha, how would you like to be sitting down at night and this happens to you? Quietly cooking dinner, lovely bits of veg that needed to be used up, plus some fresh from the veggie garden to make a warming winter Moroccan soup when ding, my phone goes off. Looks over, XYZ has deposited dollars into your PayPal account. First dropship order has been placed. So Samantha is a super cool lady who was very, very tight with dollars, could not afford to go down the private labeling route, so she negotiated and found a couple of products that she could do via drop shipping. And you can see here, lists them on Amazon. 5 hours later, she's getting an order, and her orders have continued to come in, and super excited for her. She is now working towards her private label range of product. Now she's used drop shipping to prove the product and the category is possible to compete in and make money in. She's now going down the private labeling route, reinvesting her profits. So congratulations to Samantha. Karen Thompson. This lady is kicking serious butt. Here's her new line of private label skincare. I've tried lots of things, and this is the first thing that's ever worked for me. I sold my first product just 5 weeks after starting. Said earlier, Karen is an amazing action taker. She had spent $7,000 on an eBay course and got nowhere with it. 5 weeks after joining Aussie Online Entrepreneurs, she's got products on Amazon and selling, and is now building a very strong presence and website and business around her Bush Botanics range of private label skincare. Kicking butt, Karen. Well done. Another good mate of mine, Andy K. I did it. My products launched on Amazon and are already selling. Thank you, Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. Been in the group for 6 weeks. Got his muesli dog treats up on Amazon and getting sales. He is kicking butt. Andy started in the group with our Aussie Online Entrepreneurs knowing nothing. He literally struggled to send an email, had no internet experience whatsoever. 6 weeks later, products on Amazon, Amazon store set up, doing everything right, kicking goals and making sales and making money. How good is that? Here's Lady Sue, who's taken what she's been doing on eBay, is teaching and incorporating that into her Amazon business and the skills and things she's learning from Amazon back into her eBay business, because it's all transferable. It works both ways. Product listings are product listings, product photographs are product photographs, keyword research is keyword research. It's transferable. We're talking about Amazon, but you can certainly take it and put it onto eBay and vice versa. Sue gets a brand new BMW every 12 months purely with the money she's making with her online businesses. And you've got to be pretty happy about that, because I've had BMWs and I know how much they drop in a year. So she's obviously making enough to cover that, and good on her. Now, the tale of two people. Let me ask you, there are two people, there are two types of people who are going to be watching this today. The people on the left are the shy, the timid, the ones that wish something would happen, that wish something would change in their life. And then the ones on the right are the ones that take control. They see an opportunity, they grab it with both hands, they take it and they run with it, and they level up their life. They power up their life. They're in control. So the question to you, my question to you today is, which one are you? Where do you fit? Are you going to wish something happened, or are you going to grab an opportunity when you see it and run with it and make something happen, make the changes happen in your life? And to finish off, just a recap again, I just can't believe the value that we're stacking up here for you. The monthly, the access to the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs training, 8 modules, over 50 videos, $97 a month. The weekly Q&A webinars, Monday nights for an hour, plus access to the full back catalogue, the members only Facebook group, all of that. Normal value $5.91 a month, but today and for a very limited time, you can get in for $1 for your first month, and then $47 a month after that. Get started, head over to ianknable.com/$1. And I just want to finish up with, I'm nothing special. I didn't know anything about this a few years ago. I muddled around, I persevered, I trudged on through the trial and error, and I just made a complete mess of it. It should have happened much, much quicker than it did. I wish I'd found something like Aussie Online Entrepreneurs 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I'd have been sitting where I am now 4 or 5 years ago. It is really, really simple when you get an absolute step-by-step process laid out in front of you. I'll tell you now, when I started, I didn't get along with technology. I didn't know much about anything. I've learned, and I've done it the hard way. I took 6 years to learn and do something I should have done in 1. And the lost opportunity, the amount of hours I had to work at that job that I just absolutely loathed, it still irritates me greatly to this day, I've got to say. Trial and error sucks, and it's expensive. So why do it the hard way? And there's another picture of me on another cruise. This is my favorite bartender, Jerry. So, said, I'm nothing special, guys. I've learnt, I've done it the hard way, and I'm now hoping to show you a way that you can fast track your success and join the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. Get involved. You risk got nothing to risk. It's $1 for the first month, then 47 a month after that. Full 100% money back guarantee. It works, and it works very, very well. So you want to get started? Get started now by heading over to ianknable.com/$1 and take the first step to a new life of financial freedom. I look forward to seeing you there. John, that is it. I am done. Happy to take some questions.
All right, thank you, Ian. Can you hear me okay, Ian?
I can indeed.
All right, great. Let me just say before we take any questions, and please start any questions you have, please type them in the chat area. But I just want to say one thing about what Ian's presented today. When people come to me and they're interested in making money online, and they don't have a business, I'm not talking about businesses, I'm just talking about people that want to start making money online. Now, I know so many different ways you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I tell them. I say, start an Amazon business and fulfillment by Amazon business for all the reasons that Ian's mentioned today. But I'll just recap some of those reasons why I tell people. I tell people because it's long term. Okay,
Yep.
It's something that you can build. You can start. You can build up, and you can continue to build. It's going to be there for the long term. It's not like a lot of other opportunities that just come and go. But this one you can build it up steadily, and just make there's people making a lot of money just working from home doing this.
Yep.
Not companies or anything, just everyday people making a lot of money doing it.
Absolutely.
Another reason is that you can do it from anywhere. And once you've got your business up and running, you can outsource a lot of it, so you can really live the internet lifestyle. What I love about this opportunity too, it allows you to live the internet lifestyle. So there's just so much going for it. It's coming to Australia. It's the biggest. It's like the 6th most visited used site in the world, Amazon. So if you learn how to get your listing up there, Amazon does a lot of the selling for you.
They are very good at doing that. Very, very good.
Yeah, and they take care of a lot of the headaches. They take care of all the payments and payment processing and refunds and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just so many positives to it. All right,
great summary, John. You've nailed most of the major points on the head, mate. You really have. You start off a blog, and I still go along with you. We've done over the years together a blog and things like that. And email, still very, very effective, and you can make money. But I said, the stats, Amazon are putting 86 million people a month through that website. All you've got to do is try and catch their attention. So it's very, very powerful.
Yeah. All right, look, I think you've done a great job, Ian, because I can't see any questions. All right. So, all right, that's fantastic.
I'm hoping that I've given people some really good information there that they can start to use. Whether they choose to join the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs or not, I'm hoping that I gave you enough, some information there at the beginning to help you understand what you need to look for and how to do a bit of it. If you do choose to join, fantastic. Look forward to seeing you in the Facebook groups. What I didn't mention as well is we do have 6 monthly conferences. The next one is probably going to be on the Gold Coast in January or early February. So they're really cool. The last one was in Manly, which is another tough part of the world to spend a weekend in. But the next one's going to be on the Goldie in late January or early February. And they're a great opportunity to meet everyone face to face and do some networking.
Yeah. Now there is there's a few comments here. I'll just have a look. There's one by Alan. How much time, Ian? How much time is required to be successful?
Great question. It's one of those. It's a good question, and it's a bit of a difficult one to answer. A lot of the work is up front in finding your product, identifying your product category, and negotiating with your suppliers. Once you've done that and you've ordered products and you've got it sent to Amazon and you've got it and sent to Australia to, say, a Shipwire or a DL Logistics, or you're doing it yourself from your garage, whatever business model you choose, once you've actually got it up and running, very little time. Then you start doing things like monitoring some paid traffic through Google or Facebook or things like that. Some people are, depending on the product range, are getting either making a video themselves or working with some school kid who's in high school who are all over making videos to make up some product videos, and you throw them on YouTube, and YouTube becomes your traffic generating through to your product listings and things like that. Once it's actually up and running, not a lot of time. It really is really good in that regard. Like my businesses, I've got my stock control is all handled by virtual assistants. We check in once a week. They give me the stats, and these are your sales, this is your stock levels, and they know the order times and the lead times and things like that. And I spend an hour once a week with a couple of different VAs, and there's my stock control sorted. I've got my review management and email follow-up sequences all automated, so there's very little there. So it's a long answer to a short question, but I hope that helps. A lot of the upfront time is in finding the right product and negotiating the right deal. Once you've done that, the actual day-to-day stuff of the business is quite simple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, if you can let us know, Alan, if that answers your question, that'd be great. I'll just wait. I think Alan's typing something there now.
Yep.
Lyle's, while I'm waiting for Alan to mention that, so Lyle's made the comment that he was interested in Amazon years ago, but was let down by so-called, anyway, those companies that I'm guessing Lyle's invested in companies that let him down. And unfortunately, that's not an uncommon story. And the reason why I brought Ian with us today to share this opportunity, because I personally know Ian. He's one of the good guys out there. Let's put it that way. And you can see from the package that he's offered today that there's little to no, well, there's no risk really. It's $1 refundable, and you get to test out. You get to see all the training. You get access to the training, I should say, immediately. And after that, it's only $47 a month. So yeah, and we can see from the people that are having success with the group, and this is the reason why my friends and family that have come to me recently, as soon as I found out Ian was doing it, Amazon FBA, and he was having success with it, that's who I refer people to now. So my own family and friends, when they say to me, "Hey, John, what should I be doing?" I say, "Look, you should be doing Amazon FBA." I tell them, "Look, I'm not currently doing it. However, a good friend of mine is. Go and talk to Ian."
It's I'm extremely happy I stumbled across it a few years ago in search for the next bright shiny object, and I'm glad that I fluked some early success, John, which got the interest to hone in a little bit more. But to go from sort of a little bit of success to being able to have reliable, virtually guaranteed monthly income to quit the job, that was the step I was missing. And when I started getting the coaching last year, that's when it all came together. So hoping that we can help. A lot of people have the same, because I tell you what, it's much better waking up at 7 o'clock than it is at 4 o'clock. I can tell you that much. And as you well know, John, it's I've been doing this 6 months now, and I still pinch myself every day that I'm not going into an office and working 14-hour days. It is possible, people, and you can do it with this system. Absolutely.
And Alan did reply. Thank you, Alan. So, yep, he's happy with that response. Thanks, Ian.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
Now, if there's no more questions, we're going to wrap it up. So again, thank you so much, Ian. Really appreciate you spending the time, because I know you put a lot of effort into this presentation, and it was awesome. And I think you've answered
Thank you,
all
John,
the
and
questions.
thanks to everyone who's watched, and I hope you got value out of it, and I look forward to seeing everyone in the book group. Sure. So thanks again, everyone, and cheers.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks also. Um, and yeah, if there's any questions, any more questions, don't hesitate to contact me. You can go to my email address, johnlagadakis@gmail.com. Ian, if they wanted to ask you any questions, where's the best place to contact you?
Best one to get me. It's Ian at Raw Local, ROAR. I'm typing it in the comments. I don't know if they'll be able to see it, but yeah, Ian at rawlocal.com.au.
Okay, awesome. All right, thanks everyone. And that's a wrap. Bye for now.
Cheers, bye-bye.